Today is September 6, 2023. And the Seattle Community Police Commission acknowledges that we are on the traditional land of the Coast Salish people, including the Muckleshoot, Suquamish, and Duwamish people, past and present. And with humility, we recognize how much we benefit from living on their land and water. The Seattle Community Police Commission honors these tribes and we hold them in the highest regard. We hope that this acknowledgement will encourage authentic relationships with urban Native people and all Coast Salish tribes. And at this time, I will take attendance. Lars Erickson.
Good morning, here.
Good morning. Tricia Hunter is here. Adrian Levitt has an excused absence. Suzette Dickerson.
She's here.
See your box, Suzette. All right, we see your box. You're here. Commissioner Lynn Wilson.
Present.
Good morning. And Raven Nicole Tyler. Good morning. Mary Ruffin. No. Absent. Reverend Harry Walden.
I'm here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And Joel Merkel.
Good morning, I'm here.
Lajaya Washington said where she would not be here today. And Officer Mark Mullins has an excused absence. Lieutenant Tony Gadke.
Good morning, here.
Good morning. Jeremy Wood. Morning. Tasha Johnson. And Erica Newman. Okay. Well, we'll move forward with the approval of the agenda today. This meeting is abbreviated so that commissioners can make it to the federal courthouse for a hearing today from Judge Robart regarding the consent decree. So may I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Oh.
Go ahead, Raven,
I was gonna say I motion to adopt the agenda.
and I'll second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the agenda as distributed to us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 No. The abstentions, the motion is carried, and we do see Tasha is with us. We also received the minutes in our packet. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, if I could entertain a motion to receive the minutes as distributed.
I move.
Thank you. I think that was a motion. Is there
Sorry,
a second?
I move to adopt the minutes.
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you so much. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes as distributed. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions, the motion is carried. Okay, moving right into some updates, the co-chair updates. And the first thing we want to say as co-chairs is that we had an absolutely wonderful community meeting last Thursday evening at Langston Hughes. And we thank the staff and the community engagement team for leading this marvelous effort. Carver Rick Williams, brother of John T. Williams, was present, and he offered wisdom and inspiration as we move the work of police accountability forward. We are grateful for the participation of Mayor Harold, Chief Diaz, the city attorney, and Davison was there. Executives from our accountability partners, Lisa Judge, Gino Betts, Roger Rogoff, Director of the Office of Independent Investigations, Mr. Ron Ward, representing the Monitor's Office, and so many more community leaders were there. It was absolutely amazing, amazing. My only disappointment was that there were only 6 commissioners present, and that as commissioners, we do need to show up for the events, in particular the ones that we sponsor. Your absence was noticed by community members and brought to the attention of the commissioners who were present. Also, the food was amazing. It was abundant to die for. And so to our Director of Community Engagement, Felicia Cross, to Joe Nathan Thomas, and you too, Argo, you took the lead on this annual report meeting and certainly exceeded my expectations. I would ask the other co-chairs if they have anything that they too would like to share about the last Thursday's meeting or anything else.
I would just echo Co-Chair Hunter's comments that it was a wonderful meeting. Lots of folks from the community were there. It was a great presentation about our 2022 annual report. I do want to thank every staff member who were there that made this such a success. Jessica Ferris, who's in the room, policy staff, was also there doing a lot of work to make it a success. So it was just a wonderful meeting. There was a very touching moment with John T. Williams' brother, Rick Williams, up on the stage with Chief Diaz and other officers, an offering of peace and remembrance for his brother, which was really where a lot of this started for the CPC. So just a wonderful community event. We look forward to doing more of these and encourage all commissioners to be there and show out. So thank you.
I want to say the same thing. I thought it was a great meeting. I really with Rick and two of the former co-chair, 2 of the former commissioners was there. Lisa Dugard and Jay Hollingsworth was there also. And I want to thank the CPC and the city and Bruce Harrell for a proclamation and the gifts that I got. But I thought it was a great meeting. I really enjoyed it. And a great location. Langston Hughes was fabulous. I want to thank everyone who participated in putting it on. Thank you.
Thank you. And I certainly would be remiss if I did not mention that Reverend Walden was honored at that event. So thank you, Reverend Walden, for all of your work with the CPC for over the years.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Just go ahead.
Oh, do we want to do more co-chair updates?
Yes.
A couple other co-chair updates. As Reverend Hunter mentioned at the top of the meeting, this morning at 11 a.m. is a hearing in Judge Robart's courtroom. He announced the hearing last week, towards the end of last week, and through a docket entry yesterday, it was indicated that he will be making a statement from the bench regarding his ruling on the city and DOJ's joint motion related to the consent decree. So we will be in attendance. The co-chairs and staff will be in attendance. And that is part of the reason today's meeting is abbreviated. So if folks are downtown and have the opportunity to go down to the courthouse, federal courthouse for that hearing, it is really something I advise doing. There's nothing like being in the courtroom when the judge is making comments. The other, I see Mr. Ward is present. Is there anything you want to add to that? You're on mute. You're on mute, Mr. Ward. There you go. Okay, thank you. Thank you for being here, Mr. Ward. The other co-chair update, it's more of just kind of a reaction. Before today's meeting, the co-chairs became aware of an article posted on mynorthwest.com related to Seattle police officer and body cam footage and the officer made regarding the pedestrian who was struck and killed by a responding police vehicle back in January. Co-chairs are still absorbing the article. We haven't really had time to talk about it, but we've each, the article's been shared with us. I encourage the commissioners to go read it, and it's certainly likely to be something we continue to discussing at future meetings, but I just wanted to mention that that article was shared with the co-chairs. We have read it, or we've at least had it. We haven't all read it, and we haven't discussed it yet, but I do want to mention that we received it and noticed it. I think that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Now, an update from our executive director.
Thank you very much. I have a couple of updates, but I just wanted to go back to some of the things I said in March. So thank you so much for your faith in me, to all the commissioners, and your vote as a commission to select me as executive director. I'm eager to begin the work of moving the CPC forward in the era of new beginnings, which was the theme of, as the co-chair said, our amazing public event, community. Everyone was there on August 31st. So I want to share a few comments from them that still ring true today. As I said in March, the Community Police Commission is important because everyone in the city of Seattle needs, as our governing ordinance states, effective constitutional policing and a police department that has the trust, respect, and support of the community. The CPC has a vital role to play in ensuring police accountability in our city. It provides important analysis and policy recommendations that are meant to ensure the integrity of our law enforcement system, one in which police officers are entrusted with extraordinary life and death powers. So my goals moving forward are to make the CPC a functional and resilient organization to fulfill the statutory role. To this end, we need to be fully staffed to engage all of Seattle's diverse communities effectively. So with their input, we will be effective and reliable policy advocates at the city, county, and state levels. In this role, I am committed to enhancing public trust in the CPC by implementing evidence-based approaches to our work, incorporating best practices from other civilian oversight organizations across this country while respecting the distinct voices of the Seattle community. So again, I really appreciate your trust in me, and I hope that I can improve the CPC and move it forward in the community in this era. My second update is, as you know, we have been hiring for the senior policy advisor. That job closed yesterday, and I was advised that we have 43 applicants. So it takes a while at the city of Seattle to have applicants move through multiple stages of process. We're going to begin reviewing those resumes, I believe, beginning next week, and there's a couple more interview stages after that. So we hope to have that position fulfilled very soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I believe we have one staff department update from our legislative update from Jessica.
Yes, I believe I'm presenting to the screen. Yeah, so today I'm going to present my presentation, and I am going to share my screen.
On the bottom.
Sure.
You're good.
Good morning, everybody. You can all hear me. I'm okay. All right. So my name is Jessica, and I'm data and policy analyst for the Community Police Commission. And I'm just here to present on the legislative priorities for 2024, the legislative session next year. Holly had given a previous presentation I think earlier this year, and so that some of these slides might be familiar, but I'm just here to talk about them one more time and again talk about the priorities that we're going to be focusing on next year. So the ordinance allows the CPC to identify and advocate for reforms to state laws that will enhance public trust and confidence in policing and the criminal justice system. We're also allowed to review and provide input to accountability partners as well as city departments on policies related to police accountability. Essentially, because we are an independent agency, the CPC can choose to adopt the city's legislative agenda, or we can adopt our own and move forward with that. Briefly, I'll talk about the Office of Intergovernmental Relations. This is just the office that coordinates the legislative agenda from different departments across the city. And they're the one that I will be sharing this legislative agenda with tomorrow, so that they have that and can incorporate it into the mayor's legislative agenda. Briefly, a quick comment about testimony in Olympia. If you are a commissioner and you choose to testify in Olympia, please do so on your own individual capacity. The CPC coordinates testimony on bills with the Office of Intergovernmental Relations, and so just making that brief disclaimer. So what is our accountability legislation for next year? Like I said, most of this is pretty similar to last year, and we are in the middle of a biennium, and so most of the bills that were introduced, we're expecting will continue to be followed through this coming year. So we're splitting up the legislative agenda, I suppose, in two ways. Right now, we are focusing as well on the Washington Coalition for Police Accountability's agenda. These are the three that they have stated will be a part of their agenda for the coming year. The House Bill 1513, the Traffic Safety for All. This is a bill that it reduces biased traffic stops and unnecessary interactions between police and Black, Brown, and Indigenous road users, as well as low-income drivers. So it just reduces the reasons why police officers can pull over people who are driving. I've been in work groups with the ACLU to talk a little bit more about moving this forward and what steps and advocacy that they've been doing. So this is something that a lot of people are focusing on. The next two bills, HB 1579 and HB 1445, these both deal with prosecution with the Attorney General's office. And they're a little bit intertwined with the Office of Independent Investigations. And I can talk a little bit about that if there's any questions. Next up is the CPC's agenda. So the Washington Coalition for Police Accountability, they took out HB 1025 as a part of their legislative agenda for this coming year, but we thought it was important enough to include it in our legislative agenda still. And this just talks about eliminating qualified immunity for officers. The next one is a little bit different. This is a bill that we're starting to refocus or re-talk about. This was a bill that was introduced by Senator Jesse Solomon, and this is SB 5134. And the part that we're specifically focused on is the part about police accountability with local jurisdictions, and it would potentially require local jurisdictions to adopt police accountability laws. Briefly, just kind of talking about the mayor's legislative agenda, because I know that there might be some questions about this as well. The mayor will be adopting their agenda and sharing that with the public in December. Last year, the legislative agenda was about 19 pages, and so we're expecting that to be also changed. And then for the 2024 legislative process for the CPC, just briefly kind of talking about this, right now things are a little bit slow until January, and then things will start picking up again. Last year, the CPC took a vote for the legislative agenda items, but this year we're not asking again for a vote because we're just essentially recycling the same bills that we're focusing on. And so we're going to also use the same set of values in 2024. We do have a work group, the legislative work group that meets on Mondays, every other Monday at 10. And so if you're interested in talking about these bills, digging into any of these bills, or kind of participating in this process, please email me and I'm happy to send you an Outlook invite and include you in these meetings. And that is it for me.
Thank you, Jessica. Any questions?
I just want to add, as a co-chair and as a member of the Legislative Advocacy Work Group, I just want to thank Jessica for all the work that she's doing to make this work group active and robust. We have a lot of work to do this fall to really strengthen our position going into session to hopefully see more success in Olympia on our priorities. And so I just want to call out Jessica and all the great work she's done. The policy shop is short-staffed. It's been short-staffed all year. Jessica's done a great job. And I do want to also echo her call to any commissioners who are interested in participating in that work group. Please come and join, and we'd love to have your voice. Thank you.
Stop sharing this.
Again, thank you so much. Any new business? I don't believe there is. Put it on the agenda just in case. At this time, we are moving to our executive session. The commission, will be moving into executive session to evaluate the qualifications of an applicant for public employment and or to review the performance of a public employee pursuant to RCW 42.30.110 subsection 1G. It's expected that the commission will be in executive session until 9:55, 10 o'clock. The commission will not return to open session, but will dismiss directly from executive session. So we thank you for coming to the CPC meeting today, and we will move into executive session. Thank you.
Might be important. 10:40.